Running back, the running back. My man, Marshall Faulk, is joining Coach Prime staff as the running backs coach. This is a really exciting hire, to say the least. I'm a former running back, high school, college, all that good stuff. So, I grew up in the era where Marshall Faulk was that dude. You know what I mean? He is what I would call the Peyton Manning of running backs. I mean, I remember I used to sit back and watch like NFL films and all that other stuff and they would talk about Marshall Faulk and how he knew everything that was going on every play. He knew where players were supposed to be. He really just knew how to diagnose a play and just be him. You know what I mean? He was one of those running backs that really just revolutionized the game from a receiving position because he was one of the better receiving running backs. He was Weapon X. He was all that in St. Louis. I used to say, shoot, when the Rams moved to LA and they got good, I told people, listen, I don't want to see nobody talking about they a Rams fan unless you got a navy blue and gold Marshall Faulk jersey somewhere just laid up, you know what I mean? Maybe he had the authentic joint, you know what I mean? But I think this is a dope move for Coach Prime, his staff. Just brings more star power. I mean, if you don't know, you will know once you start watching his film. I mean, he was just crazy athletic. He had all the moves. I can't describe this dude. I mean, he was 28 before people. It went in this order. It was Fred Taylor, then it was Marshall Faulk, and then it was Adrian Peterson. Those are the three 28s that you remember when it comes to this game of football, like real talk. And Marshall Faulk was a cut above the rest. I mean, I can't say that. He was a part of the greatest show on turf. That's when I think I really, really, really started coming into my own with football. So, you know what I mean? For me, any news of him, continuing to grow. He was on the NFL Network for a minute. Always loved his takes on there. But seeing him, I think he has so much knowledge to give to the game that this is dope for any running back that's going to the University of Colorado. One is going to bolster and keep the ones that they have there because I do think Colorado has a great stable of running backs, and it's also showing that Colorado this year, obviously with Juju and Caden Salter, they're going to have a real commitment to running the ball. You don't bring Marshall Faulk in if you don't have a commitment to running the ball and just being physical and also using running backs in the passing game. And you got to think about it. Colorado also has that hybrid. I forget the other kid, the freshman kid, who was like a tweener between a wide receiver and running back. So he's going to have he might be the Heisman candidate coming out of University of Colorado next year. Like I said, they had some Micah. I forget what his last name. You got Micah. You got the Hood brother. You got the big boy Augustive, and then you still got Hayden. I forget what his name is. Hayden thing, but that's going to be a nice stable of running backs. And if they can really hone in and learn and get what Coach Falk now is going to teach them, I think that they're going to be set up for greatness. So it just enhances recruiting appeal to get future running backs, so on and so forth. Coaching experience and opportunity. This may be setting up Marshall Falk for a future head coaching opportunity. If he does 1 to 2 years with Coach Prime, I think that the floodgates will open. A few years ago, I know he was in talks to become the Southern head coach when there was a vacancy there, HBCU. So, this NFL legend pipeline thing is continuing, with Marshall Faulk taking over that running back position and running back head coach, running back coach position. And I just think that if you continually stay in the mix, I think this would be a great opportunity for him. And like I said, I don't think there's a lot of people who know X's and O's like he knows X's and O's. I mean, like I said before, often he was considered the Peyton Manning of running backs, like just for his knowledge of the game, so on and so forth. Stability, it's been a lot of talk about Coach Prime leaving for the NFL. Now, I've been wanting to jump on and jump in the mix and cover it, but my thoughts have been just let it happen. And if it happens, then we'll talk about it more. If it don't happen, it's kind of nice to speculate it. It started off with the Raiders, then the Cowboys threw their hat in the mix for the speculation media cycle. I'll be honest with you, if I could just fit this in real quick, I would say that the Cowboys, as much as I'm a Cowboys fan, Cowboys fan. I just don't think that Coach Prime is the best fit for the Cowboys. Not because from a branding perspective, it would be awesome. But my issue with him is he won't be able to have all the tools. Everybody's talking about, well, probably the one that could talk to Jerry and make Jerry do what he wants to do. I don't think so. Jerry's Jerry. Jerry too old. He too stuck in his ways. I ain't beat. I think that honestly, of the openings that are available, I think Jacksonville would actually be the best fit for Coach Prime. One, because he would bring so much to that. It kind of fits the mold of what Coach Prime is, being a place where he can build. Two, I think Shad Khan would be a very much out the way owner. And I remember they had him falling asleep at the game a couple years ago. They called him a couple times. So he cares, but he doesn't care that much. I think it would give Shad Khan a second look at that college coach that Urban Meyer really kicked down the drain, literally, and just all that good stuff. So if he was to go to the NFL, I do believe Jacksonville, believe it or not, would be the best opportunity. Just from him being an alpha dude, him being able to come in and control, reset, do all this other stuff. I think it gives that the allure and lights of Cowboys are nice and all that good stuff. But I just don't think I think that it would be too much of a headbutt. And the Raiders are just like all over the place. You don't never know what you're gonna get with them. Shoot, obviously the reasons Gruden got fired, they, but they find ways to get rid of coaches right and left. So it is what it is. One other thing I would say is that a lot of people out the woodwork are going to be like, oh well, what does he coach? Honestly, Marshall Faulk has coached a lot of the current running backs that are in the league, or some of who are kind of aging out. Y'all know how the position goes. NFL not for long, all that good stuff. But I know Zeke in his prime was working out with Marshall Faulk. I know there's some other running backs that have been working out with Marshall Faulk. So he's no slouch to the game and what actually coaching the position. And again, with his knowledge, I'm sure he would have certainly have some good input on offensive game plans, not just be just a guy who coaches the running backs, but you know what I mean. When you think about somebody like that who has proven mentorship, off the books, I'll take it any day of the week. Now, if this was just any other Joe Schmo, just for name, just for kicks, just for giggles, running back, I think it would just be like a PR stunt. But this is a dope move, and I'm surprised. I think that he fits into the culture of what Coach Prime is doing because it isn't so subservient. One, they've worked together before at the NFL workers, but I feel like with a lot of these NFL greats, these are gold jacket guys. These aren't just like your average run of the mill. I had a run in the league and now I'm back in college guys. These are like guys who have gold jackets. So I feel like them not being in a position where they have to do this whole earn your stripes, all this and all that, business is just like yo, straight up like, yo, nah, this is we're equals. I respect your knowledge of the game. And we can make this happen. Pat Shermer is probably like, oh yeah, you know what I mean? Somebody who can teach these running backs. And I think that it will help because with him being the running backs coach, I think it will open things up for Pat Shermer to really help that offensive line out because he has a background in offensive line coaching, and there's also this thing with the co-offensive line coach because Hegeman is the coach, co-offensive lineman coach, and I think that Prime would rather spend that money in a position that he needs to have well, both the offensive line and the running back have to make an impact, but I think just spending that money there, and you can kind of spread out the offensive line duties that, and maybe bring somebody like a Matt McChesney in. Now you have three eyes on the offensive line. with Shermer, McChesney, Hegeman, and you put that emphasis on Marshall Faulk. All right, let's get these running backs to produce. Now things is opening up for Caden Salter. Now things is opening up for Juju Lewis. So, it's a lot there, you know what I mean? And, it's just a dope hire, you know what I mean? Now, I haven't seen Colorado or Coach Prime officially make this statement, but I would also say that there's nothing refuting it right now, and I'm here for it. So that being said, improving mentorship, legacy and inspiration, stability under Coach Prime, offensive thoughts, and coaching experience, opportunity, enhanced recruiting appeal. Those are 6 things that I just think are the reason why this is such a great hire for Colorado. Dope hire for Coach Prime. Dope opportunity to elevate for Marshall Faulk. And with that being said, this is Boom Boom Sports, and I'm out. Peace.